We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. Hello, everyone. Keith Anthony Blanchard here, Center of Light. Good to see you tonight. It's about to get loud. Tonight is Center of Light compensation. Me and my craziness. Center of Light compensation. Are you covered? AAA life insurance. Progressive. I know these two insurance companies don't go together, but tonight they do. Are you covered? Are you covered like a Jimmy hat? Is your name Jimmy? Things about to get crazy. I did mention recently that hello, Hapakuku. Happy birthday, Ramona Scott. Beautiful lady. I did mention recently, in the recent past, a few times, that the next 2 months are going to get pretty loud. Well, here we go. Bruh. This showed up today. In the news feed. News. This is going down in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Wisconsin? Kenosha? Wisconsin? Is that right? The idiots are preparing. They're setting out bricks everywhere to entice, to tempt, to lure people in to break windows, to loot, to steal, to grab. Not blaming any particular side. People are doing this. They want Christmas to be chaotic. That which means something powerful to all of us. Whether you are a Christian or a Buddhist, it doesn't matter. Christmas comes with a beautiful, warm feeling. Does it not? Even for the atheist. What is that? That's Christmas magic. Well, this year is going to be Christmas tragic. But tonight, this presentation is exactly about getting back and or staying in the magic and leaving behind the tragic. As if people want to break windows with these said bricks to steal Christmas presents. Well, if you're breaking windows with bricks, there is no presence nor Christ Mass about it whatsoever. Shame on you. Left side, right side, inside, outside, upside, downside, it doesn't matter. There's no blame, shame, or game towards anyone, but you should be ashamed of what you're doing. The cabal, they're falling really hard, and they know it. And they're grabbing at every possible straw, opportunity, and chance. That's correct, Ramona. It's the dumb side. Only dumb people, ignorant people, would do such foolishness and nonsense. Well, tonight is Center of Light compensation. Where do we find our best buck return? AAA insurance. Are you covered? Life insurance. Progressive. Are you covered? So what is the AAA insurance for tonight in this analogous theme? AAA. Acceptance, allowance, and appreciation. Acceptance, allowance, and appreciation. What we are witnessing in this world today is the most powerful, opportune time to accept, allow, and appreciate. Though it may look like on the outside a bunch of folly, nonsense, noise, and it is that, but it's also about jolly, that which makes sense, and a spiritual poise, not the poison. And they're going to slap your face right and left over and over to drill you into the nonsense. While people hate, kill, steal, rob. So tonight is appropriate to accept, allow, and appreciate. We're going to go into Center of Light support mode. Thank you, Robert Harrison. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, everyone who's supported Center of Light, be it radio or Center of Light. I call it TV. I'm just a performer. That's just what I do. Merch to perch. So, welcome to Center Light. Welcome back. Katya. For the merch to perch, if you are interested in purchasing one of the lotus flower incense holders, along with that comes a box of Nag Champa Agarbati incense. It smells like the Christmas candy you want under your tree. Phenomenal. But also, if you're interested, in the workshop that's coming soon, I need 20 entries before I start the workshop. It's going to be Homecoming Crossing the Bridge to the Soul Experiential Workshop. Warning, in a beautiful way. You come into the workshop, and we're going to get naked. As they say in Louisiana, naked. We're going to get naked. We're going to get raw. We're going to get real. The whole point of the workshop is to expose the core, that vulnerable space. That vulnerable space. Let me do a refresh here real quick on one of my chat widgets. Hopefully that will work. Maybe not. So tonight is Center of Light compensation. Are you covered? Hello, Robert. Robert says butt naked. Are you covered? Do you have AAA insurance? Assurance. AAA insurance. Acceptance, allowance, and appreciation. So Albulita is trying to do what's called spiritual gaslighting. She's trying to, she wants to get naked because her question is, so we're going to get naked and wear a birthday suit. That's up to you. In such a way, yes, that is actually overdue. So now we find ourselves a month and a half shy of 2022. Let's add the numbers together. In fact, the universe is all about some math and numbers. So let's deduce them down to its finest primal, if it is a primal number, component. 2000, 2 and 0 is 0, 22. So we have 3 2s. 3 times 2, 2 times 3 is 6. 6 happens to be the numerical number characteristic of the ability to transcend difficulty. So, in order to transcend difficulty, we have to have difficulty to be able to transcend it. To become transcendent. And it's a transcendence. As we transcend dance is what it is. So the universe loves you, us, we, so much it's going to continue to turn up the gas. The gaslighting, the hot air that comes out of people's mouths, and the fire under your ass. My aim, my hope, my joy, my confidence. I'm confident, I'm strong inside. So my immune system is vibrating the same. I have confidence that I can overcome, not in a form of dominance, but yet I am the master, the Lord of my life. You don't belong here. But likewise, I am confident in this infected of an extraterrestrial race that is correct, has erected itself in this space, in this place, and in this time. But there is no more time. So my hope, my confidence tonight is that we move into the fire deliberately. Those who vibrate at the frequency of the fire do not get burned. So we go into the fire. Purify ourselves. We're the purebloods. So how do we ensure more so that our step towards our future in a chaotic, beautiful mess it is, chaotic world, to ensure my placement to continue on? Literally, it comes down to that, to continue on. Because something in this world may not physically, violently kill you. But if you are not in alignment with the energies, will you, please, consider what it takes to be in said alignment? Because once the body begins to feel the effects of the mind and the sad, grieving, scared, threatening feelings that one will experience in this time, then on some level we vibrate to the spirit, I want to leave this place. It's just too terrible here. You know, it's not about being scared of death. It's about really being afraid to live. And tonight is definitely about being alive to give. I accept. AAA insurance guarantees you dividends, compensation. AAA insurance, accept. That can be tough. Look all around you. If you're not one yourself, allow. Hello, humanity. Vanity. Me. And appreciate. Wow. All I see is beauty. Or it's not beautiful simply because I deem it not to be so because how I feel in my non-accepting and my non-allowing and my non-appreciating of it. There is a lot of push coming to shove it coming all of our way. You see, be it your son or daughter told you they were gay, or at your job there's dismay, or in the world, it doesn't matter. This is about you and you alone. And I don't mean you and you alone, which I do. I also mean you and you being alone by yourself. Because ultimately, at your essence, there is nothing else anyway. It is you by yourself. Everywhere you go, you are. Everywhere you've been, you were. Everywhere you will go, you will be. Infinitely. It's always you. This is what's coming. However, it is due for any of us to say, what do you children of my beautiful, fragmented, whole self want? We get it all. All of it. Acceptance, allowance, and appreciation is a magical formula. These three models, these three principles, inspirations, are deeper than what we can possibly think. The human language is it is the most powerful language on the planet. This does not discredit any other tongue. That's not what the point I'm trying to make here. Meaning it's the most powerful because it's going to be the final language of the earth. And of course, there's going to be a lot of mix in Latino and Italiano and Cajun French, man. And all the stuff's going to make this beautiful English language soup gumbo. Accepting. Think about it. Truly. And I don't mean think about it as if you're going to come up with an answer. Don't think about it, but entertain it. Where you are with it, how jiggy you are with it. Acceptance. Acceptance means mom, dad, and they divulge or share something, you go, or you potentially could go, what? But you go, allowance is carry on as you are. And appreciation is, oh my God, because I've accepted and allowed you, you are now the rock star. Because it shows us another beautiful fractal of the divine parent in all of its absolute divine infinite glory. I appreciate. Wow. And the beautiful feathers of the bird, of the peacock, begins to unravel and unfurl and spread its wings and its feathers so big and beautiful, we can see beyond the illusion of non-acceptance, non-allowance, and non-appreciation. You see, God is greater than we always think. No matter how great we think, we always fall shy. Not because of sin, because of ignorance. Now it's about consciousness. Pure, absolute, complete, and whole consciousness. Hello, Laura. Robert says, I'm on YouTube as well. Again, Robert Harrison is able to bilocate. He's in 2 places. All right, let's keep moving. Tonight is Center of Light. Compensation. Are you covered? AAA insurance. Everyone that knows me, as I say all the time, I'm really into definitions. Webster's, whatever's your favorite dictionary, Webster's. We cannot argue with definitions. We don't. In fact, it makes up not only the basis of our language. Webster's definitions are the basis for our life and our understanding about ourselves and everybody else in the world. Acceptance definition. AAA insurance. A willingness to tolerate difficult or unpleasant situations. I don't like this situation. It's not about you liking it. It's about you allowing it, then accepting it. However the tilt swings, I allow it. I don't like it, but I allow it. I'm getting out of the fight that it does exist. So no matter how much we want to resist and persist in trying to squash it, it will continue to exist. In fact, we exacerbate the situation. So I accept it. Step number one. Number two, I allow it because I have no choice. And then it allows us to look a little more closely at actually what it is. Then we go, oh, wow, this is not so bad. So the definition of acceptance: willingness to tolerate a difficult or unpleasant situation. Similar words: toleration, endurance. How does endurance correlate to acceptance? Well, to have ongoing acceptance to where it becomes default as a natural part of yourself without going, okay, I have to try to accept this now. I'm in 2 weeks from now, something happens. I remember I need to practice acceptance. But when you get into the default nature of it, that would be endurance, because you are enduring. And then the next one is sufferance and forbearance. The definition of allowance: give someone permission to do something. I accept you. I don't like it, but I accept you. And allowance is, do your thing, bro. Allowance: give someone permission to do something. The dissident was allowed to leave the country, whatever that is. Similar. Permit, allowance. Here's a permit. Go do your thing, bro or sis. I will let you. Let. Authorize, give someone permission to. Give authorization to. Well, if you have to give authorization, then you're really not accepting, but it makes the point. Give leave to. Sanction. Grant. I grant you this. Go do your thing. Not only do I accept you, you have my support. Be joyful. License. Empower. Enable, entitle, qualify. Consent to. Assent to. Give one's consent, assent to. Give one's blessing to. Give someone something, the nod. Go ahead. A new word for me. Acquiescent, agree to, accede to, approve of, tolerate, countenance, suffer, brook, admit of, legalize, legitimize, legitimate, give the go ahead to, give the thumbs up to, okay, give the okay to, give the green light, say the word. And finally, the definition of AAA insurance tonight: appreciation, valuing, respect. Wow, I never saw it this way before, but even though it was strange for me to allow, and before that to accept, I'm starting to feel what's really happening behind the scenes versus being so mundanely focused that I get lost and really don't understand what anything means. Step back, we find meaning, which is there is no meaning except observing the beauty that simply sits before us always, no matter how that looks, really. Appreciation, valuing, respect, prizing, cherishing, treasuring, admiration, regard, esteem, high opinion, acknowledgement, recognition, realization. Realization, hello, I get it. knowledge, awareness. The English language is amazing. There are other tongues, Sanskrit, many of the old world languages, Hebrew, using yod marks and fire letters. This contains more than the utterances of the mouth or the tongue, beyond we can possibly imagine. We hear it, I understand it, but do we understand what's happening in here? The fire is forever burning, the furnace is forever lit. Acceptance opens up the gate. Allowance opens up the gate. Appreciation is the gate. And in such a way, we no longer wait for anything. We are ushered to the front of church. I'm learning this. I'm integrating this. Many of us are doing that. So my intention for tonight's presentation is to push, because the gate is open. When the nonsense gets louder, the beauty gets more beautiful. When the nonsense gets louder, the beautiful gets more beautiful. And it requires acceptance, allowance, and appreciation. Acceptance of all people, allowance of all people, and appreciation of all people. Acceptance, allowance, and appreciation of all situations. You don't have to like it. It's fantastic to play human and to move in such experiences that on the human way, you can stand straight, tall, and anchored to change and create effect as you are anchoring the prophecy, which is your most beautiful, fantastic, sexy human self. That's fantastic. But to wait in that swimming pool or that cesspool too long, the water, the cesspool still goes downward. The spiral still goes downward. Which rises us to the top is acceptance, allowance, and appreciation. I accept. I don't have to like it, but I accept it. That's the first rung on the ladder. The second rung on the ladder is I allow it. I have no choice in the matter. It's present, so much so it's in front of my face in the world of the obvious, to where I can no longer ignore and or deny it. And appreciation is to step back even more, infinitely, to see it as an expression of God's beauty and grace. Because if it was not so, it would not be in our face. It's all God's expression. When we remove ourselves from the hurry, the worry, the hurt of the world, we begin to see perfectly at this time of year, Christmas is coming. Beautiful, isn't it? So is Black Friday. Crazy beautiful, isn't it? What a fantastic analogy for us to practice acceptance, allowance, and appreciation. I accept Black Friday. What can I do about it? I don't have to like it. When people are going to use bricks to try to influence the world, there are more hard knocks coming. But that's going to happen. So we let it sit back and happen. And in our not liking it to happen is the affirmation and or the prayer that we're beseeching of our divine parent to say, I don't like this. And divine parent says, of course you don't. And I'm glad you recognize that. So you are already voting spiritually for your next event after event to transpire in your life. I accept it. It's there. I allow it. Doesn't mean you don't stand up for what is truly right or fall in for what is truly true. I allow it. I have to find myself in this allowance game to become most effective versus fighting it and not allowing it in an unconscious way. I'm just going to go at it. I'm just going to blister all balls to the wall at it because I'm never going to allow this. It doesn't work in your way. It doesn't work that way, and you don't want it to work your way, because if it did, you would be in worse trouble. So if you want good things, we all want good things to happen on the double, we have to escape the bubble. And we do that by appreciating its beautiful grace. Trouble is grace. God speaking with a little louder voice, a little louder tongue, so we can hear. What happens when someone can't hear us? We speak a little louder. What happens when someone's from a foreign country? Even though they don't understand us at whatever volume, we even speak louder, hoping they understand. What I said was, so the voice gets louder, but it's still grace. Gonna be right back. I need to use little boy bathroom. Speaking about acceptance, allowance, and appreciation. Let's go into a song break with, what do I feel like tonight? Perfect in every way. I love it.
a choice to make, to promise yourself you'll celebrate. There's a time to trust, and a time to love, and a time to know who you are. So let the love of God on you. It's always been that way. It's time to celebrate who you are. Perfect in every perfect in every So it's up to you, a plan to make, to promise yourself you'll celebrate. There's a time to love, and a time to trust, and a time to know you are loved. Time to know you are loved. So let the love of God on you. It's always been that way. It's time to celebrate what you are. It's time to celebrate who you are. It's time to celebrate that you are.
Welcome back to Center of Light, you sexy human beings. divine human creatures. The song you just heard is from my spiritual band Lavender Soul, off of this fantastic, if I say so myself, album cover, which is the musical soundtrack for my first bestseller and the same cover for my book, The Divine Principle Anchoring Heaven on Earth, which is a collaborative work of my most recent bestseller, Homecoming: Crossing the Bridge to the Soul. The link is in these forums to go to Amazon to purchase 30 Years of My Heart, but also leave me a review. Thank you. I want to say hello to Yvette on YouTube. Hi, Yvette, as well as Amalia Chadwick. Thank you, darling. Glad you both are here. Happy holidays, everyone. Happy holidays. Christmas, not only the world as we know it. All right, I'm okay with the world as we know it going bye-bye. But can we please have Christmas? Can we keep Christmas? And the universe says, God, all that is good says, well, I'm sorry, but you can't. Until a few more years into the future. But right now, Christmas is going to be revealed. Santa, jumble the words around. Satan, I'm playing with words. Christmas is fathered by commerce, and Satan is the father of lies. Are we selling our soul? Many of us, we understand what Christmas is. It's the coming together of Christ Mass. So that's Abulita. That's her real name. Oh, Amelia. Fantastic. Thank you for the enlightenment. But me playing with the words, or are we selling our soul? So Christmas is going to be a little funky for a while, especially this one. It's time to reveal the satanic agendas behind that has pushed Christmas into commerce, which is fun. I love presents. Hell, in fact, everybody buy me a Christmas present. I will accept it, I will allow it, and I promise you I will appreciate it. But it's gotten lost. So let's continue our presentation tonight with more information about the unfoldment of acceptance, allowance, and appreciation, which happens to be our compensation, Center of Light compensation. Are you covered like a Jimmy hat? AAA life insurance. Life, AAA, we're the AAA. Acceptance, allowance, and appreciation. So let's delve into what all this is. Though these words may be descriptive in the terms that we receive it as common knowledge, how we describe certain things in our day-to-day life, take these deeper, because there's always, as I said earlier, deeper levels of information, that which is in a formation other than the utterances and the words and how the brain processes them. What is insurance? AAA insurance. I want to be insured. I want my compensation when it is due, because I've paid my premiums by doing the work, the spiritual sadhanas, the spiritual practices. Pamela, thank you very much. So if you are interested in this album, leave it in this forum. Keith, I would love to purchase this album. It is $10, $15 total. That includes shipping. We have 3 albums. If you buy all 3 albums, it'll be a flat 30. So let me know, Keith. I am interested in 1, 2, or 3 of your albums. So thank you, Pamela. Hello, girl. It's good to see you. What is insurance? To insure my placement, as long as I can, because when we're not feeling good consistently, we're vibrating, the world is too intense. The door to heaven and hell is open, and it's a two-way highway. What is insurance? A practice or arrangement by which a company or government agency provides a guarantee of compensation for specified loss, damage, illness, or death in return for payment of a premium. Many new borrowers take out insurance against, strong word here, against, I'm going against something, unemployment or sickness. Similar words, indemnity, indemnification, financial protection, security. Everyone wants to feel secure. New word for me, surety, cover, assurance. We're going to get to assurance here shortly. AAA. A thing providing protection against a possible eventuality. This is exactly what tonight is about. Having protection against a possible eventuality. Right now we're in possibility, but as this begins to eventuate, compensate, pro or con, it's going to pay dividends. The bank account is going to go south, or you're going to have deposits. A thing providing protection against a possible eventuality. Adherence to high personal standards of conduct is excellent insurance against personal problems. Similar words, protection, defense, safeguard. I like that one, safeguard. Safety measure, shelter, security. Now we move on to another level of divine in this time that we are in, security. AAA. Assurance. A positive declaration intended to give confidence. A promise. Scripture speaks of promise. And so it shall be. The end of Revelations. It paints the whole scripture, be it whether you're totally into the Bible, if it's allegory, metaphor, whatever it is for you. It is a beautiful story that we understand. So it is scripture regardless, because we adhere to some and we just miss others. But the ones that ring true to the times, the forks of the soul, is scripture. Be it from a comic book, a movie, or a bite of food. It's scripture, I tell you. Everything exists because it's the living word. Without, it's all absurd. Assurance, a positive declaration intended to give confidence, a promise. He gave an assurance that work would not recommence until Wednesday. That's an example. Similar words to assurance, word of honor. Back in the good old days, ma'am, cowboy, I just can't rode in from New Mexico. It was always about the word of honor. Word, guarantee, promise, pledge, vow, a vow, oath, bond, affirmation, undertaking, commitment, troth, parole. I'm gonna have to look that up. Confidence or certainty in one's own ability. Hello, beautiful Andrea Forrest. I'm sending oodles of light, big light blessings to you. Confidence or certainty in one's own abilities. Similar words, self-confidence, confidence, self-assurance, belief in oneself, faith in oneself. Not belief. In fact, not even faith. Faith is often disguised simply as belief. I really don't know. I'm just saying I have faith. I'm glad for you, really, sincerely. That's at least a step from not having faith. But true faith is beyond even using the word faith. The most accurate vibration is I absolutely know. Positiveness, assertiveness, oh my God, self-possession versus demonic possession or any other possession, being under the guise of a this or that is simply just not good for the benefit of our growth. But everything is for the benefit of our growth. Even the karma that happens from said unconscious ways of being. When you get slapped across your head, it's God's grace saying, you asked me to discipline you because you are a disciple of mine, disciplined disciple. I love you. Likewise, when we have a friend, hello, beautiful Elaine, when we have a friend that we love, that we would not die for per se, but would actually live for, as to why when that said friend does something unconscious, we literally grab them by the collar and slap them on their face because we love them. That's really what good friends would do. We don't strike from the head, we strike from the heart. Bruh, sis, hey, I've had many pankins on my hiney. So we become self-possessed in a higher aspect. So tonight is Center of Light. I love playing with ideas, mixing and merging. Tonight is Center of Light. Are you covered? Does something have your back? As well does something have your front and you up and down and in and out? Progressive. I know AAA insurance and progressive insurance are different, but they are applicable in the same of being covered. AAA life insurance, that which protects us in this time of absolute unconsciousness. But I tell you, as I said before, I can accept absolute unconsciousness because it reflects to me consciously exactly what I am not. Actually, it reflects to me exactly who I am. So I accept it, definitely accept it. I allow it because I want more of it. And I appreciate it because I've dropped to my accepting, allowing, humble knees. And infinitely, I say a cosmic please. And I give my cosmic sneeze. And what happens when we say for someone sneezing? God bless you. So let's look at the definition of what progressive is. We've done acceptance, allowance, and appreciations as far as what it is in the English tongue. We went even deeper to an more ancient tongue. And we went through the definitions of insurance, assurance, and now we're going to move into the next segue of progressive. Happening or developing gradually in stages. This is where we have been for many lifetimes. But in this lifetime, for many periods of those lives, every year, every other year, every 5 years, every 7 years, 10 years, however long in your lifespan that a landmark says. And so when we look at these patterns, as random as they seem, there is an order because things fall accordingly, unfold accordingly to our level of awakening. Similar words, continuing, continuous, increasing, growing, developing, ongoing, intensifying, accelerating, escalating. This is really big right now, escalating. What we're doing because of the door being open, the door that goes to heaven or hell, is we're escalating our experience. Gradual, step by step, cumulative. Wow! I just grabbed this and dropped it on the page. Of a progressive, of a group, person, or idea favoring or implementing social reform or new liberal ideas. A person advocating or implementing social reform or new liberal ideas. Similar words: innovator, reformer, reformist, liberal, libertarian, progressivist, progressionist, leftist, left-winger, neoteric. And finally, in Center of Light tonight, compensation. I'll always add in another word to Center of Light. If I'm talking about depression, it's Center of Light, lost. And then I give a title of the show. Same idea. Tonight is Center of Light, compensation. Do you have your AAA insurance? Are you progressive? Are you willing to move into acceptance, allowance, and appreciation? AAA insurance. Life insurance. This is your life. It is not a dress rehearsal. It is real. Finally, tonight is for us drawing out the English language that helps to resonate the tines of the tuning fork of the soul. And I'm going to get to your comments here shortly. So let me finish this. What is compensation? How do we receive compensation in this time of seemingly aggravation? How do we stay or move into elation? It's about getting into the vibration. Compensation. Something, typically money, where everything is currency, everything is a currency, awarded to someone as a recompense for loss, injury, or suffering. Similar words: recompense, repayment, payment, reimburse, remuneration, requital, indemnification, indemnity, redress, satisfaction, damages, reparations, comp. Wow, that's a new word for me. Guerdon, meed, saladium. So all these words, they point to the same teaching. All the words I laid out point to progressive or compensation. So what is the need for all these different words if they point to the same thing? Because as you have experienced, each one has a different consciousness. Each one is a little different than the other. Belief, faith, knowing. They're hanging out in the same ballpark. But yet, they're truly worlds apart. Each one has its vibratory nature. Not that one is better than the other or higher or lower than the other, but there is a higher or lower experience that is happening. I believe, I have faith, which is sort of, I have blind faith. I believe, basically, it's faith for most people. I have faith. That level of faith is basically belief on steroids. It's not an insult. I'm asking you to look at it honestly. Because if you were truly in faith or in all-knowing, what I just said would not but hurt you in the first place. Because you would go, I actually know what he's talking about. It's not about me being arrogant. It's about me knowing my craft. I don't dare stick my hands in an engine of my car. I don't do it because I know nothing about cars. But I know about the spiritual laws and principles and vibration and energy and how it performs. I'm a musician. I'm a writer. This is not a gloating or showboating. I know how to fix a car. Many of you know how to fix your car in whatever analogous way that you do. So as we're moving into this energy, which is coming, it's not coming, it's here. The door is open and we're walking. In fact, we put our first foot over the threshold, yet to put our second. The second foot over the threshold is going to be into 2022. The world, as we know it, as crazy as it has been, beautifully, in this beautiful nonsense, is yet again going to stand on its head. And then after that, the next year, back and forth, back and forth. But the wheel's going to get faster and faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. So it's going to require us to have such equilibrium to continue to be balanced. And it's acceptance, allowance, and appreciation. So to review, what is acceptance? My son or daughter just said something to me about, I never thought I would want to hear from my child. It's going to take you back. And at first you might not. But because it is your son or daughter, it puts a parent in a position to where there's no way out of this for me. I love my child. Acceptance begins to happen. And they bring said events into your space that they told you who they were. And then allowance begins to happen even though you don't like that either. This applies to everything in life, not just about your children. I'm bringing it that close to home because it's your children. You may not like it at first, but then you realize, if I accept my child or my situation, it will get better because I have to accept and allow it. And then we take it to the ultimate level of appreciating it. Oh my God, this is an expression of God I never saw as God in the even of and odd of all things, in the reality and the facade of all things. I've gained and gleaned a higher level perspective of understanding. Christmas, as we know it, is gone. My condolences. But it's going to come back 7, 8, probably 10 years. And freaking phenomenal, more powerful than ever kind of way. But Santa has been scrambled, and the letters now spell Satan. Don't worry about it. Don't buy gifts. You are the gift. Share that. Be the present. Be present. And in your presence, people will feel that. This is what it's come to in such a beautiful way. Black Friday is coming in a crazy, beautiful way. They, who are the they? The aliens that are trying to take over the world. I did say that correctly. It is an alien race trying to take over the world. Left, right, in, out, up, down. These motherfuckers want your mind because they cannot have your soul. Your soul, not only does it belong to God, your soul is God. And they know that. But they're going to try for your mind because all they want are earthly thrones. They have nothing, no part, no desire to be into the cosmic because one, they can't. So we're going to settle for the groundwork. You are being jerked around on all sides. No matter which side you find to be the better one or the other. If it's not the absolute, you're still being jerked around. We are all being jerked around. So, how do we get out of being jerked around? Joe Biden, I love you for teaching me. Donald Trump, I love you for teaching me. Fauci, Gates, you don't have to like it. I don't like any of that bullshit either. But it is playing itself out in the world of the obvious on the great stage of Earth. Is it not? And to understand that for whatever it is, what is that worth to any of us? Because that's all we got. You see, whatever cards are being played and the hand that is being laid all around and about us helps us to doubt us. No matter what the world says, It has nothing and actually pales in comparison to the capacity that we are able to feel. That's the prophecy. That's the deal. That is the opening of the seventh angelic seal. Do you feel me? The energy that just moved through my being. Oh, my dear Lord. The world's about to get really fucking noisy. Enjoy it. Employ it. Be with it. Be present with it. Bless it. And send it on its way. In such a way, you will do a mighty service to yourself in a world that is so heavily overwhelmed with unconscious dismay. And it's going to get loud. But we are America the Proud. Don't allow your mind to be in a shroud of bullshit. I understand nationalism and patriotism. But equally, when these demons begin to wake up the sleeping giant of America, which has started, he's grabbing his crotch and he has not yet had his spiritual morning giant cup of coffee. So it's not about America being the greatest. It's about America being the influence. Every body has organs, and all organs play their part. America globally happens to be the head of the world. India happens to be the heart. This, that, certain parts of the world happen to be this chakra, that chakra. The sleeping giant is awakening. And the cabal is trembling, and dominoes are falling. But even though you mean good and well, as the lawyers say, no good deed goes unpunished. If you're standing next to a domino that is about to tumble, you don't want to hit by one of those skyscraper tumbles, rumbles, bumbles, and knocks you on your ass. Energy is coming. So, how do we have AAA insurance, life insurance, to become progressive? I am asking you simply, are you covered? Center of Light compensation. You are the center of light. Do you feel you're going to be compensated? Because you've been paying premiums out for years, eons of time. In fact, to be exact, and exactly here right now, at this point, in this timeline. And in this timeline point, I'm telling you, time is dissipating. There is no more waiting. I will see you soon. Merry Christmas to you. Happy holidays. Here's an ice cream cone. You need a new pair of socks. Whatever it is that floats your boat during this time that we all feel unifies the world. Even atheists, non-believers in any particular thing, not necessarily in religion. I'm Scrooge, humbug. An atheist in the form of just feeling joyful. Well, notice that most humbugs get more grumbly in times of joyfulness because they're trying to prove to the world that they don't feel joy and they become grumpy. They're not lying to me. They're lying to themselves. I love you beyond measure. I will be seeing you soon. Tomorrow night, I'm going to be doing a presentation on a presentation I canceled called The Road Less Traveled. Wow. What is the road less traveled? To be in default mode of acceptance, allowance, and appreciation. I appreciate you.